Look, there's been optimistic and there's been delusional. I will let you choose the one that Tosin is right at. But seeing as it's dressed like a traffic stoplight, yellow means ready, green means go, red means stop. I'll stop you right there.
This is Crossfire and my name is Jidechi. The Super Falcons are going to the Women's World Cup this year, their 9th appearance at the tournament, and the preparations have been neither here nor there. Many people thinking what could become of this team at the World Cup. Of course, I would be doing this with Tunde and Tosin, who would be arguing on if the Super Falcons will be performing in this tournament or they would be having a shambolic one. The Super Falcons to perform well or not? Tosin, let me start with you. What do you think?
Actually, obviously I'm an optimist, especially when it comes to my country, Nigeria. I always see the best in people. I see the best in Tunde, that's why he's here. You understand? So, but that's a different discussion.
Very valid.
So, when you look at this particular crop of Super Falcons talents, they have the right group, the right mixture of veterans and upcoming players. I'm not here to talk about preparation for the World Cup. The preparation for any Nigerian tournament is usually shady. It's usually mediocre at best. So, can the performance actually be good? That is the Nigerian way. That is actually what we are going to talk about. Can the performance actually be good? It can. You understand? Because the talent level is there. You understand? So, you look at our group and you look at the quality of players in this team. Someone like Tosin Dimeyin, someone like Christy Uchebe, someone like Michelle Alozie. You understand? Chiamaka Nadozie. Like, you look at the combination of talent in this team. Like, they are in their prime. Now, they now have the supporting group of elderly people of Azizat Oshoala, Desire Okpara-Nozie. You understand? I honestly, in my own personal opinion, I feel like if you look at the last tournament, they actually did qualify from the group. Very important victory against South Korea in that game. You understand? In the elimination stage, we all know what happened. You understand? And as a result of that, going 4 years with that experience, I feel that this team actually has the right mentality to actually, maybe not for Nigeria, but for their careers, actually putting a performance for the ages.
Let me hold you there. Tunde, are you as optimistic as Tosin is? Do you think we would do well at this World Cup?
Look, there's been optimistic and there's been delusional. I will let you choose the one that Tosin is right at. But seeing as it's dressed like a traffic stoplight, yellow means ready, green means go, red means stop. I'll stop you right there. Don't leave me.
So what do you think?
Look, what I think is that the Super Falcons are about to have the most underwhelming. In fact, that doesn't do it justice. I think this will probably be the worst tournament of any Nigerian team in the history of any sport internationally. Look, you are going to a World Cup, the NFF spokesperson and the coach of the team are publicly fighting, throwing shades at each other, calling each other loudmouths and whatnot. We are going to a World Cup in a group where we are the worst ranked team in that group. We are ranked 40th in the world. We will face Australia, the co-host, ranked number 10 in the world. We will face Canada, ranked number 7 in the world. Even the Republic of Ireland, who are playing their first World Cup, debutants, they are ranked number 22 in the world. So where is the optimism coming from? Apart from vibes and just regular Nigerian spirits, where is the optimism coming from? If you say current form, you want to back on history, no problem. In the history of the FIFA Women's World Cup, Nigeria have the worst defensive record, considering 63 goals. No team in the history of women's football has considered more goals at any World Cup. Nigeria has minus 43 goal defense at the World Cup, also significantly the worst. They've lost 19 games at FIFA Women's World Cup, also the most losses by any team. And they've played 2 World Cup without scoring a single goal. I think this will be the third one. If Nigeria score, you are talking of can they win? That's why I say you are delusional. Can they score 1 goal? Can they get 1 draw? Can they beat anybody in that group? Those are the questions we should be asking. How can they win the World Cup? How? How will they win the World Cup?
Tosin, I agree with you that Tunde is not a Nigerian. Let's talk about the Super Falcons and the teams we face. Where do you see the Super Falcons performing? And how far do you see them going in this tournament?
When you see, Tunde brought out a wheelbarrow of rubbish and just shoved it in front of you. That's what he literally did. When you talk about like aggregated stats, there was a time the development of football in Africa right now is not the development of football. When we started going to the World Cup then, in 1991, 1995, what happened with them was that they used to beat us like 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. So when you look at our negative goal difference, you understand, it is as a result of yesteryear's incompetence. When you look at our last World Cups, what did France beat us? 1-0. That was the host. What did Germany beat us? 3-0. Basically, when you look at it makes it look as if like the Super Falcons of today, they lose like 8-0, they lose. That was the yesteryear Super Falcons. When you look at this current team, we played Canada in a friendly. What did we play against Canada? We played 2-2 against Canada. And in Canada, in Ontario, in their home backyard, we played 2-2 against them. And we didn't even take a full team. You understand? We played the United States of America, the defending champions. What did they beat us? 2-1. You understand? So you can't have an inferiority. You are black, yes, but you can't have an inferiority complex going to the World Cup. You can't like have obviously the effects of colonialism, it lingers more and more in some other people than, you understand? But you can't just take that mindset to the World Cup. These Super Falcons players, majority of them play in Europe. Michel Alozie plays in the United States of America. Christy Uchebe plays in Benfica. You understand? These players, you look at the game against Ireland, that is a sure win. Sure win. Okay. Don't fall for the gimmicks of the coefficient ranking of the World Football Governing Board. Don't fall for that kind of nonsense. Let's talk about the real football. Obviously, as Africans, obviously, they will not give us the dues we deserve. But you look at the game against Ireland, anything can happen in that game. The game against Australia, now that is probably our most difficult opponent. But at the end of the day, they go to the field and they go with the right tactics. We can actually leave that group with 7 points. We get a draw against Australia. Canada is beatable. Canada is very, very beatable. We play Canada and we wipe Ireland. And we go to the next round with 7 points.
Permutations. Sunday, Tosin called you. He said you have colonial mindset still.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't referring to me, I was just talking. But go ahead.
He said what you've been shoving has been rubbish. If the Super Falcons will not be qualifying, who do you think would be making it from our group? And what's the worst possible scenario we are looking at here, according to you? Because, I mean, he also said you're not patriotic.
Look, I've known Tosin for quite a while. So I know that one of his best qualities is the ability to say utter rubbish with a straight face. He says it with such a convincing voice that if you don't listen, you will actually think that this man knows what to say. Imagine he's coming here to say stats. It's shoveling nonsense on the table. It is stats, numbers. I didn't manufacture them. They are facts that he says he's shoveling nonsense on the table. Look, everything he said is all well and good. I don't have an issue with Nigerians being optimistic or wanting to support their team. I too will support the team. I would not just suspend my brain to do so. My brain tells me, as someone that has watched football for all my life, as someone that does this for a living, tells me that there is no chance that we beat anybody in this group. Doesn't mean that if they beat somebody, I will not celebrate. I'm in Nigeria. Doesn't mean that if we win, I will not celebrate. I'm not enemy of progress. Australia is not paying me. Canada is not paying me. Republic of Ireland cannot even afford to pay me. So I don't have us in the race. My own is just as an analyst, there is zero chance that we pick up 1 point. 1 point is a draw. We are not drawing any game. Republic of Ireland will wipe us. Australia will disgrace us. Canada will put us out of our midst, even though they are our first game. It's from the first game that you already know that you don't have chance. When you call it like 4-5 first game, you will know that you don't have chance. We don't even know if our coach will be the one to lead us into the World Cup. But we are here doing permutations of if we want to Kiniko plays in Benfica. Where does Onomebe play? She's 40 years old on paper. Where does she play? She does not have club. She's in this. Which club?
She has a club.
Which mention the name of the club?
She has a club. You've heard the guys. You tell me what you think. A great World Cup for the Super Falcons or not? Drop your comments in the section below. Let's hear what you think and how you see the Super Falcons faring at the tournament.